If you are a regular here at Peter Lloyd World, you know that I am a perpetual positivist. I try to see the most positive perspective in any story that I do. But given what just happened with Elaine Thompson-Herah, 2 weeks out from the national championships, I'm thinking it may be time for us to be worried. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. Drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button and finally leave your thoughts. And ready? Yep, good to go. Well, most of you would be aware of the fact that yesterday at the NYC, the New York City Grand Prix 2024, Jamaica's Elaine Thompson-Herah, the second fastest woman all time in history, the fastest woman alive with an insane 10.54 over the 200 meters, the double gold medalist from 2016 and 2020 Olympic Games in 100 and 200 meters, once again ran last, as she had done a week before at the Prefontaine Classic. However, in this instance, it was very evident within the first 70 meters of the meet that she was injured, and it looked quite serious. Now, again, I'm a positivist, so some of you might think that I am sometimes too positive, and I believe that horses can fly. But I'm a positivist, and my life has taught me that that tends to help, and it tends to work out in most instances. But what I saw gives me pause for concern. And for the first time in quite some time, I have to admit openly that it may be time for us to be really worried about Elaine Thompson-Herah and her sprinting career.
In the centre in lane 5, Aaliyah Hobbs on her inside. Away they go. Good start in lane 6 from Celera Barnes. Aaliyah Hobbs on the inside of Thompson-Herah, who's got some ground to find, and the Kinnison's running well, right on the outside as well. Coming up towards the line, that's very tight in the end.
Immediately after coming through the line, well, first up, let's look at what she posted about what happened to her during the race. This is what Elaine Thompson-Herah and her team posted on her social media pages. She posted, "I felt something uncomfortable as I began to push. I still tried to go, but it got worse. So I'm awaiting professional advice moving forward. Thanks for your continuous support." This is what we saw after, like within milliseconds after coming through the line. I meant to say after coming through the finishing line tape. Immediately she took off her shoe, her right shoe. Obviously the discomfort was coming from her right leg. Later on in either the Gleaner or the Observer, they said it was her Achilles heel. Then we saw her almost hobble over and sit down on the track. Then we saw these images.
Elaine Thompson messes up her Achilles at the
Now, what I find remarkable is that there are people who have basically said that they think she was just embarrassed and that's why she was pretending to be in pain. People, look at that woman's face. She's in agony. I mean, I think I've told you, any of you who are know here, that I had severe back injuries, that I was in pain for 7 years non-stop. I mean, there was not a second in those 7 years that I was not in some degree of pain. I know pain when I see it. This woman was in serious pain. So she's not pretending because she's embarrassed. She's in pain, people, real pain. And the first thing one of the announcers said you heard is that it's her Achilles heel. And we know that she's been having Achilles heel injuries issues since 2017. It would also explain why she was unable to get out of first gear at the week before's Prefontaine Classic. She never got out of first gear.
There are 4. Sha'Carri Richardson 5, Talu Smith. Talu goes in 6. Asher Smith 7. Sha'Carri Richardson 10.8.
So after doing some research, here are the effects of compounding, meaning many years of Achilles injury issues and how it affects you. And we're going to talk, just bear with me because it might be a little longer than normal, but I really need you to understand why the most positive person on YouTube would say to you, it may be time for us to get a little concerned. It may be time for us to actually worry. Here are the facts. Continuous Achilles tendon injuries over an extended period, such as from 2017 to 2024, can have several compounding effects on a female 100-meter sprinter's ability to run fast. 1. Reduced strength and power. The Achilles tendon plays a crucial role in the explosive movements required for sprinting. Chronic injuries can lead to reduced strength and power in the affected leg, compromising the sprinter's ability to generate the necessary force for a fast start and sustained speed. 2. Impaired biomechanics. Repeated injuries often cause changes in running mechanics as the body compensates to avoid pain or further injury. This can lead to inefficient running form, increased energy expenditure, and slower sprint times. 3. Decreased training volume and intensity. Continuous injuries typically limit the athlete's ability to train at high intensities and volumes. Reduced training can lead to a decline in overall fitness, muscle strength, and sprint-specific adaptations, all of which are essential for peak performance. 4. Loss of confidence and mental stress. Chronic injuries can have significant psychological effects, leading to reduced confidence and increased anxiety about re-injury. This mental stress can negatively impact performance during both training and competition. 5. Increased risk of secondary injuries. Compensatory mechanisms and altered biomechanics can lead to increased stress on other parts of the body, raising the risk of secondary injuries such as knee, hip, or lower back problems, further hindering performance. 6. Note: scar tissue formation and decreased flexibility. Repeated injuries can lead to scar tissue buildup around the Achilles tendon, reducing its flexibility and elasticity. This can impair the tendon's ability to stretch and recoil effectively, which is essential for sprinting. 7. Delayed recovery and rehabilitation. Continuous injuries often mean prolonged periods of rest and rehabilitation, interrupting the training cycle and delaying progress. The athlete might struggle to regain previous levels of performance after each injury. Overall, continuous Achilles tendon injuries from 2017 to 2024 would likely have a significant negative impact on a female 100-meter sprinter's ability to run fast, affecting her physical capabilities, training consistency, and psychological state. Effective management and rehabilitation strategies are crucial to mitigate these effects and support the athlete's return to peak performance. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. Now, no, they didn't say it's impossible or improbable, but there's something that I would like to add to this volume of information that I just gave to you, which is age. She's now 31 years of age, and you really have to understand that that impacts everything. Now, we're used to seeing Shelley and Fraser-Price running crazy fast at 34, 35, 36, 37. We have seen Allyson Felix do it. We have seen Gatlin do it, almost up to 40 years of age. And of course, the great Merlin Naughty, up to 52, was still sprinting 100 and doing extremely well. Now, those people are outliers. They're outliers. In other words, they're freaks of nature. They're not normal. The average athlete hits their physical peak, especially a sprinter in today's world, somewhere between 28 and about 31, 32. Now, if you compound that with continuous injury issues, you have a huge problem. I have only seen her look relatively normal last year at the end of the season when she was working with that female coach. Can't remember her name right now. Don't want to go look at it. It's not relevant to my point. My point is, before all of you get on me about that, we're not discussing that coach. I'm simply saying that if she has had Achilles heel and other injuries from 2017 until now, it must be impacting her. At 31, this is compounded, and I just gave you all the scientific data you needed. And I'm adding age to this because, like I said, Shannon is not normal. Athletes tend to hit their peak, and then after 31, it's downhill. 31, 32, it's game over, especially sprinters. So I'm not sure if Elaine Thompson-Herah will be able to do that. Now, if this is a really serious Achilles heel injury, again, also because she's older, as was stated in the study that we did, she's going to need a longer time to recover. You know, when I work out, one of the things that I have learned, which is why I was able to fully recover from my back injury, and I can now bench 250. It's simply because I have learned that since I'm a little bit more mature, I have to be very, very careful in how I execute these exercises. Because guess what? When I get injured, it takes a little longer for me to recover. It's not like when I was 18. 18, I recover in a day. At this stage, many weeks. So if this is a serious injury and she's 2 weeks out, and we're all waiting, because this is speculation, of course, because we don't know what's really happening, but it looked serious enough. It could have just been a cramp, but it didn't look like a cramp. Then, if it's serious, then we can't think about her for the Paris Olympic Games, and or we can't think about her for the national championships. And if she's not able to get to the national championships, she will not be able, because by the way, the Olympics does not give you a bye. World Championships, if you are the defending champion, you don't have to compete. You automatically go to the championship. That doesn't happen with the Olympics, okay? They don't do that there. You still have to qualify to go. So, being the most positive person on YouTube, all research, and I try to research as much as I can on the more important things. If it's really Achilles again, after all these years, we could be looking at a very serious problem. And maybe it just might be time for a few of us to start actually getting worried. You know, I mean, yeah, I normally have my head up in the clouds, but the fact of the matter is, I think if it's what we think it is, we may actually have to actually get worried now. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know this video went on a little longer, but I wanted to give you the science behind what I'm saying. Let's pray for her. You know, she's an incredible talent, a rarity. The second fastest woman in the history of mankind, as far as we're aware. So let's hope that this is not as bad as it looks. But even if it isn't, what are the chances of her recovering enough to be able to make it? Because for her to do well in 100 meters at the upcoming national trials, she has to be running something close at 10.75. I'm telling you. 10.75, the worst might be 10.80, 10.86. Somewhere around there. It's gonna be fire. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, the like button. Remember, your royals, kings, and queens. Bless up.